Civic Society Partnership Concept Note. 1. Organization details. Date of submission. Applicant's name, Family Visions Child Trust, FVCT. Legal status, Trust. Registration number, MA59/12. Date of registration, 16/01/12.
I want to pause the audio reading real quick. This is a file which I received from the Executive Director, Family Visions Child Trust, located in Zimbabwe, South Africa. I'll just let the continue of the voice audio go while it reads the file for the program for you guys. I'll fill you in on the end here.
Contact details. Contact person, Obert Gonzo. Designation, Executive Director. Postal address, 674 Compton Park, Naizura, Lushopi, Zimbabwe. Physical address, 674 Compton Park, Naizura, Lushopi, Zimbabwe. Telephone number. Code, 263. 0714192354. Fax number. Code. Mobile number, contact person +26377508472. Email address, contact person familyvisions@ymail.com. 2. Background and problem analysis. Name of the project, Family Visions Orphanage Home. Implementation body, Family Visions Child Trust. Mavarangwa Business Center. Lushopi, Zimbabwe. Purpose, requesting for support to construct orphanage home. Requested amount, $100,000. Cell +26377508472. 1.0 Introduction. The challenge of HIV, AIDS, and street children still remains one of the most problems facing the central region, hence making many children more vulnerable to several aspects such as lack of access to education, shelter, feeding, socialization, and integration in the community. Consequently, this has compelled Family Visions Orphanage Home Project to initiate out such project that is aimed at uplifting the conditions of the most vulnerable children within Central Part, since it is registered to be having the highest number of such children. Background. Family Visions Child Trust, Family Visions, is a rural development community-based organization operating in Makoni District, in Manicaland Province, Zimbabwe, which started in 1999 and duly registered in 2012 as a charity organization under Trust Notarial Deed, Reg No. MA 50/2012. It is a non-profit organization that aims at improving the living conditions of rural orphans, disabled children and youths, women, men, their families and communities to implement programs in agriculture, vocational training, health, education, income generation, water, sanitation and hygiene improvements, as well as formal and informal education. The project came up following the living and rampant community problems such as the rising number of children that had become orphaned due to HIV, AIDS, street children, the displaced, increased unemployment mostly among the rural women and men, low levels of agricultural development, high levels of illiteracy that rendered most people unemployed, lack of water and the general poor sanitation hygiene, hence the need to restore those that have been affected. Community and rural development centered is the approach to all our work. This puts all the marginalized, illiterates and unemployed at our focus so as to give them an opportunity to better improved lives. Our aim is geared towards working and improving the community to enable them meet their needs and ensure that they become self-reliant and agents for social change. 1.0 Background. Family Visions Child Trust, Family Visions, is a rural development community-based organization operating in Makoni District, in Manicaland Province, Zimbabwe, which started in 1999 and duly registered in 2012 as a charity organization under Trust Notarial Deed, Reg No. MA 50/2012. It is a non-profit organization that aims at improving the living conditions of rural orphans, disabled children and youths, women, men, their families and communities to implement programs in agriculture, vocational training, health, education, income generation, water, sanitation and hygiene improvements, as well as formal and informal education. The project came up following the living and rampant community problems such as the rising number of children that had become orphaned due to HIV, AIDS, street children, the displaced, increased unemployment mostly among the rural women and men, low levels of agricultural development, high levels of illiteracy that rendered most people unemployed, lack of water and the general poor sanitation hygiene, hence the need to restore those that have been affected. Community and rural development centered is the approach to all our work. This puts all the marginalized, illiterate and unemployed at our focus so as to give them an opportunity to better improved lives. Our aim is geared towards working and improving the community to enable them meet their needs and ensure that they become self-reliant and agents for social change. 1.1 Location. The project is located at Mabvarangwa Business Center in Ward 12 of Makoni District, Manicaland Province, Zimbabwe. It is situated about 30 kilometers western side of Ruzopi town. 1.2 Vision of the project. A world where everybody enjoys fundamental human basic needs in the absence of poverty, ignorance and disease. A society where the disabled can live in peace and enjoy their basic human rights of education, social justice and socialization. 1.3 Mission. To assist the neediest children within Makoni District have access to basic shelter as well as advocating for other basic needs. 1.4 Objectives of the Orphanage Project. 1. To have a permanent home where children affected by HIV/AIDS, street children and other vulnerable children can stay in peace. 2. To have a rehabilitation center where children in difficult circumstances such as the displaced can live. 3. To use the home so as to advocate for the rights of children, mostly those have been vulnerable. 4. To have a resource development center that can train the community on child protection and women empowerment. 1.6 Statement of the project. HIV/AIDS, street children and other vulnerable children in Zimbabwe continue to remain one those faced with a number of challenges in our communities, mostly in Makoni District. Makoni District has the highest HIV incidence and prevalence standing at 0, 17% and 12.35% respectively. Though some interventions have been put in place, they continue to remain inadequate and only benefit a few children within the interest of the provider, but the question would still remain on those from the remote areas that may be in need of such similar help. The government and other NGOs have tried to ensure that children in difficult situations have access to different needs, and most of them still seem unable to access them due to negative attitudes towards them, hence making them more vulnerable. The rising and timely political conflicts, economic challenges and corruption without accountability in the country have also escalated the problem of street children, displaced in search of safe places and homes, but the children find them nowhere, hence being subjected to several abuses such as rape, defilement, child exploitation, illiteracy, compelling them to engage in prostitution. 20% have been forced to move on streets so as to get shelter and find a way of living, while 12% have been displaced from their homes due to political insecurity, and only 3% of them can access their basic necessities from other organizations, and yet the existing orphanage homes cannot accommodate the influxing number of such children in the country. It is upon this ground that Family Vision's Orphanage Home Project has designed a project that will help resettle children in difficult circumstances so as to reintegrate them in the community. Hence, there is a need for an orphanage home in the rural area. 2.0 Description of the project. These children end up living and working on the street.
I want to pause this video real quick, so it's taken a long time to get this orphanage to the level where it is now. Basically, from my understanding, and there's more information coming in today, and today's day is the 22nd of March, 2024. Basically, people, there's one substructure, built, or superstructure, I'm not sure, just a structure, what I mean by structure is one house, one building where currently there's 25 children staying. It's quite small, the situation it's quite bad, like it is in Africa, I don't want to sugarcoat it, most days there's only enough funding for these children to have only one meal, one breakfast, that's it, there's no snack, no lunch, no dinner, those of you who speak British English, there's no dinner or tea even, only a breakfast. Thank God there's water close by so they can get it. They don't have to resort to collecting rainwater. The situation's not that bad, thank God. They have minimal clothing, they have shoes, some of them only have sandals. And we need to start supporting this so we can get there, to get this place established, get it up and running, and things like this. But I'll elaborate more after this video's finished. We'll get back to the audio reading now of the file, please.
For a plethora of reasons, including death of parents, breakdown of families, family violence, natural disasters, economic hardships, and drug and alcohol abuse, HIV/AIDS among the other characteristics rendering many children homeless. According report Family Vision's orphanage project produced indicated that many children with the communities of Makoni district in Manicaland province did not have good shelter, as some at night were staying within the remains of old cars, drainage channels. Those that come at the project claim that they did not have where to stay and that when it rained, their life was at a standstill. The fact that some children had become total orphans without a caretaker, they resorted to roaming on streets. It is not the failure of these children, but attributed to inadequate measures that can be accessed by all vulnerable children. Consequently, such a survey gave rise to Family Vision's orphanage project Start a Home where such children can find peace. 2.1 Activities of the project. A. Education provision. B. Medical provision. C. Sports development activity. D. Human rights advocacy. E. Guidance and counseling activities among children. F. Music and skills development. 2.2 Justification of the project. The project is overdue and important in that it will enable such children to be restored, hence having access to basic human necessities such housing, education, feeding, socialization and integration in the community. The project will help the community have access to skills that are geared at child protection. This project is so vital to the community and that it deserves high priority. It is so feasible and sustainable since it has been initiated following the increasing number of HIV/AIDS, street and other vulnerable children in the region. The project is desirable and acceptable to the intended beneficiaries as several requests and initiatives have been asked by the community for a project to initiate out such a program that could help to restore hope for the vulnerable children in the district. It is also in support of the ongoing government programs to improve on the plight of orphans and other vulnerable children in the country. The project is in line with the goals of Family Vision's orphanage project to have a community where all children can enjoy their basic human rights. Therefore, the government's policy will be partially implemented through the project and community aspirations together with the motivation of the beneficiaries. It is also envisaged that the success of this project and its impact, if and when carried out, act as a platform to advocate for other programs that can foster child protection and development. Indeed, the benefits will produce a multiplier effect in that other development partners in far communities will emulate and plan similar programs that could lead to improvement on the quality of lives of children in difficult circumstances in our communities. 2.2 Description of beneficiaries and plan benefits. 2.2.1 Direct beneficiaries. At least about 50 children within the communities in Makoni district will benefit directly from the project. Their health and well-being as well as access to better human basic needs like education, feeding, and medical care will be improved. Their continued discrimination, isolation within the community will be broken down. Consequently, the children will have time to interact with other people and involve themselves in other productive activities in the community that could help them break their cycles of vulnerability. Indirect beneficiaries. The local community people, the facilitators of the project, will be the indirect beneficiaries. The government of Zimbabwe will be able to realize another achievement as far as restoration and resettlement of children is concerned. 2.2 Implementation and Management. The project is going to be implemented by Family Vision's Orphanage Project and the particular involvement of the community people. The project will have competent staffs with prior consultations from the government on aspects concerning the provision of homes to vulnerable children. The project will have an organizational structure that will be accompanied by a work plan to help implement the activities in a systematic way. Besides, the project staffs will have tasked accomplishing all the designed activities which will foster management of the project. Therefore, to meet the above stated strategies, the project will be reinforced by training a team. It should also be noted that one of the strategies to be used during the implementation of this project will be the project's procedures. 2.2 Sustainability of the project.
It does this sometimes. You'll start reading again in a second.
The project will have competent staffs to ensure that programs continue to run so as to sustain the project. Nevertheless, the project staffs will lay out strategies to involve in other development patterns, the government and other non-governmental organizations that can support projects directed towards resettlement of children so as to ensure sustainability of all the orphanage home programs. 3.0 Monitoring and Evaluation. The project will be assessed through monthly joint meetings of all stakeholders, the bi-monthly meetings of Family Vision's Orphanage Project and quarterly review meetings of all officials, technical officers, funders and the community people. The strategy will employ a participatory method where the target group will be fully involved and given an opportunity to express out their views and performance of the project. Progress reports will be prepared and disseminated to the stakeholders and the project funders. The impact evaluation will be carried out at the end of the first quarter of the project, followed by an evaluation workshop to discuss the findings, such as the achievements realized, financial performances, weakness and challenges met within the project. 3.0 External Evaluation. External funders will be encouraged to establish their own mechanism to evaluate the performance of project activities and progress at their own convenience. However, the implementation body will feed them with quarterly reports pertaining the progress and performance of project.
I'm going to stop this video here right now. There's a summary here based on calculations for building just a housing, actually. Now this price can vary a lot. It could be a lot cheaper, it could be a lot more expensive. But you can just see the screenshot here, I mean, not the screenshot, sorry, the recording of the screen here where it's listed here. You just have a look over it because I hope most of you, I'm sure not all of you made it to the end of the video, but I'm hoping all of you actually did. Because there's a much more important video here. This is the official document, the original official document from a long time ago, people. Alright, I believe this document was actually Well, I'm not sure when the document was made. It's irrelevant. But like I said, you know, and like it said in here in this document also, this file over here that the computer's been reading here on voice audio. This was founded in 1999. All right, so I'm 33 years old almost. I was born in 91. So do the math. Okay. Got registered in 2012, May. Um, so, you know, guys, it's 22 years. There'll be more pictures and more detailed diagrammed portfolios, you know, dossiers, pictures, videos, in a documentary going online here soon in the near future, discussing everything. It's cost almost about 10,000 euro, 10,000 US dollars to build one construction, which is just a house with walls. You know, it's not that big, it's not that small either, but there's 25 children living in an area that is quite small, you know, and really it can't hold any more children, you know. So we really need to expand this place, you know, get this place up and going, up and running. And that's it now. That's the end of this video. I'm gonna stop recording the screen now, and there'll be more to add now.